finds. The opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Good evening, Philippines. May gabi sa Buk, Mindanao, Visayas, ug sa Luzon. Ako po si Eric Espina. Ito po ang inyong Republika. Kung tama po ang aking mga nadidinig at ang aking mga sources, ito po yung mga reliable, mukhang ang susunod na magiging Associate Justice ng ating Korte Suprema ay magiging si Professor Marvic Leonen. Ang kanyang pagiging Associate Justice ay hindi po natin inaalis sa kanya dahil yan po ay kapangyarihan ng ating Pangulo. Subalit, naitatanong lang po ng ating publiko, ito ba ay binibigay sa kanya dahil siya po ay naging loyal? O dahil ito po ay medalya o regalo dahil sa kanyang performance sa paggawa nitong ating Bangsamoro Framework o dahil siya po ay isang magaling na abogado. At meron siyang masasabi nating record na ipapakita dahil nga siya ay naging magaling na abogado. Importante po nating tatanungin ito dahil sana nga siya ay magiging Associate Justice dahil nga siya ay isang magaling na profesor, magaling siyang abogado at malaki ang kanyang maitutulong sa Korte Suprema. At walang kinalaman po ito sa Bangsamoro Framework. Kaya lang, hindi rin natin taos na maiisip na ilalayo din natin ang usapin ng kanyang performance doon po sa naging kalalabasan ng Bangsamoro Framework. Dahil kailangan tignan rin natin, no? Kung siya ay talagang magaling na abogado, dapat tignan din natin kung ano ang naging resulta. Dahil siya ang naging punong negosyador ng ating Republika doon. Kaya sa gabing ito, inanyayahan po natin ang matatawag nating Resident Counsel ng GNN at hindi rin matatawaran itong ating guest dahil bagamat minsan hindi kayo pumapanig sa kanyang mga punto de vista, subalit ang kanyang pong mga paninindigan ay hindi naman matatawag nating for sale. Importante po yun. Nandito po si Attorney Alan Pagia. Good evening. Yan. Off the cuff, titignan lang natin yung Bangsamoro Framework. Ano pananaw mo? First impression lang muna.
It's a framework without a picture.
Okay.
All frame, no picture.
Aha.
Because the picture has to be provided by the legislature.
Correct. Okay.
Because the panel of negotiators represents merely the executive department. And the executive department cannot act outside of the law. They're only supposed to implement the law. The problem is, what law are they implementing? When the agreement itself says, there will still have to be laws to be passed.
Sa tingin mo, ito ba'y, marami nagsasabi na ito daw ay constitutional, may nagsasabing unconstitutional pa, ang iba ay nagsasabi hindi pa subject for judicial review dahil wala pa namang ginagawang batas eh.
I believe it is unconstitutional.
Okay.
Why? We have to be very specific. I said, it's all frame, no picture. Because what should be inside would have to be provided by the legislature.
Okay.
Now, that is not the problem.
Aha.
The framework itself has already a legal implication which is unconstitutional.
Okay.
And that is whether or not it is fair from the point of view of the sovereign Filipino people that the government recognizes a rebel group and elevate it to a level of, to a status of belligerency, which they did not have prior to the recognition. And that is what I consider is a betrayal of the sovereignty.
Sa tingin mo, Attorney Pagia, marami kasi nagsasabi, pagod na tayo sa gera, mahalaga. Kaya nga nagkaroon pa ng mga in-appoint ng mga peace advocates, mga sikat na mga tao, no? ganun kahalaga daw yung katahimikan o kapayapaan. Kaya siguro this is the last gamble. Is the gamble worth the elevation to belligerency?
It's not.
Okay.
Because in the first place, you do not know which liberation front you're dealing with. We have already dealt with the MNLF, the
Okay.
Moro National Liberation Front under Chairman Noor.
Okay.
And we already have the Tripoli Agreement of 1976, which has not been fully implemented up to now.
Yes.
And then the government again enters into a peace talks, rest in peace talks,
Okay.
with the Moro Islamic Liberation Front.
Oo.
So which is which? The problem is we already gave recognition and we already entered into an international agreement with the MNLF. What is this new thing about the MILF under the sponsorship of Malaysia who still owes us Sabah?
Okay, okay. So, ang tanong dito, marami na itong tanong na ito, no? Pinayagan ng gobyernong ito na makapasok itong Malaysia sa usaping ito dahil siguro pananaw nila referee ito na walang kinikilingan, ano? Of course, very controversial ang partisipasyon ng ng Malaysia dito. Ngayon, ang tanong, ano ba ang pakialam ng Malaysia dito sa usapin ng MILF? At bakit parang init na init ang Malaysia dito sa usapin ng MILF at ng Pilipinas?
Sa pananaw ko kasi malaking bagay na maalis ng Malaysia ang atensyon ng sambayan ng Pilipino palayo sa Sabah.
Okay.
Kung mapapansin mo, matapos sabihin ni Pangulong Diosdado Macapagal at ni Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos na yung Sabah ay sa Pilipinas, lahat ng mga sumunod, Cory Aquino, Fidel Ramos, Erap did not have enough time, Gloria Arroyo, and Noynoy Aquino, no talk about Sabah. Strange, because President Macapagal and President Marcos were both brilliant lawyers, and I don't suppose anybody has already refuted the validity of their argument that Sabah is owned by the Filipinos.
Pero pahapyaw lang nating daanan yung kay Erap Estrada. Bagamat wala siyang panahon noon na hindi niya natapos ang termino. Knowing his character, yung mga ibinigkas niya, mga isinigaw niya sa sambayanan, palagay ko hindi siya ma-influence palagay niyo ng Malaysia, ano?
Hindi, kasi yung all-out war niya,
Yes,
nabawi niya yung Camp Abu Bakar.
Yes, oo.
And that is a very decisive sovereign act on the part of the chief executive or the commander-in-chief in making use of the armed forces of the Philippines. It's the most decisive act of a president in modern history, especially with respect the Mindanao's secessionist problem. But that has been negated by the subsequent administrations.
At hindi siya natanganan ng impluwensya ng mga Malaysians, ano? Kahit ano pa siguro mga tentasyon ang pinadala siguro, no?
Maliwanag na talagang maliwanag kay Pangulong Erap kung ano ibig sabihin ng pagiging soberenya ng ating bansa.
Okay. Dito sa framework, at first blush, ano ang agad bilang abogado ang napansin ninyo na parang tumayo ang balahibo ninyo?
Unang-una, pinakamahalaga dyan, yung usapin ng kalayaan ng ating soberenya.
Okay. Kasi
itong elementong ito, bukod dun sa people, territory, and government, itong soberenyang ito, ito ang nagbibigay ng karapatan sa sambayan ng Pilipino na maging bahagi ng pamilya ng sanlibutan.
Okay.
Kaya yung soberenyang yan, dapat iniingatang maigi. At yung soberenyang yan ay dapat absolute and indivisible.
Okay.
Ang problema dito sa Bangsamoro Framework, instead na indivisible yung soberenya ng sambayan ng Pilipino, nagiging divisible. Because they're talking of a separate government, a different people, and a different territory, a specific territory.
For themselves.
Yes, but while the sovereignty is supposed to be couched in the words that it will be within the context of the existing constitution, what they're not telling the people is what is most important. What is that? They're giving a status of belligerency to this group. And that belligerency is an entity recognizable under international law. And that is what we lost. And that is why these peace negotiators are liable to the Filipino people for betraying our sovereignty and compromising it. Because now, on the basis of this framework agreement, kahit wala pa namang agreement, may nakuha na yung mga MILF. Ano yun? Recognition as a belligerent status.
Okay, two quick questions. What is the net effect of the Philippines granting belligerency to this rebel group? And number two, impeachable offense? Is this already an impeachable offense?
Yes, it's a betrayal of public trust. Why
Okay.
will you make our sovereignty divisible instead of indivisible?
Sino ang pwedeng impeach dito?
All those concerned and who promoted this framework agreement, including the chief executive. I am sorry.
Kahit na parang political agreement lang ito, ha? I mean, I'm just talking in behalf of others. They're saying, oh, wala pa naman batas. This is just a political agreement.
That is the trick, Eric.
Okay.
That is the trick. That is where we have to be very careful. Because even without an agreement yet, what did we lose? We lost. Because now, the MILF has official recognition of their existence as a belligerent status, as a belligerent entity, which is protected under international. They're supposed to know that.
Okay.
Marvick Leonen is supposed to know that. Why did they get the Filipino people into this kind of an imbalance? Yung sinasabi niyang asymmetrical. Ang ibig lang sabihin nun, imbalance. Talagang imbalance. Because the Filipino people were made to give something, recognition as a belligerent status. The Filipino people did not get anything in return.
Ang sabi daw nila, oh, well, you're going to get peace.
Well,
Is that worth? Yun nga, is this the kind of peace that
what
we will?
is MILF? MILF is a rebel group.
Okay.
And if we go to the revised penal code, rebellion is a crime.
Correct.
Therefore, this is a group of people guilty of violating a crime.
Correct.
Because if that will be the policy of the administration in dealing with organized crime, we might as well do peace talks and framework agreements
With all criminals.
wetting syndicates, with prostitution syndicates,
Drug lords.
and illegal drug syndicates. Are we going to do that? We're not going to do that. That is ridiculous. That is not an act of sovereignty. That is an abdication of sovereignty.
So yung belligerency, anong net effect niyan sa international community? Para lang maintindihan ng mga tao.
Ay, belligerency, ibig sabihin, pwede na silang pumunta sa United Nations, sa mga international organizations, para sabihin, oy, tulungan nyo kami, inaapi kami ng Republika ng Pilipinas. Kinilala na nila kami, tapos ngayon, inaapi kami. That's what they get.
Okay.
Unlike if we did not give them any belligerency status, if we made them surrender first, then they cannot go out and tell people na tulungan nyo kami, inaapi kami. No. Because before that recognition, they are criminals liable under our criminal justice system.
Okay, what evidence will they present to the United Nations? The framework itself.
The framework agreement.
And we signed.
Yes, that is recognition. And that is what they're not telling the people. The recognition that this administration gave this MILF is a cop-out in American euphemism regarding our sovereign prerogatives. Because as I said, sovereignty is indivisible. With this framework agreement, they're going to make it divisible. Why? Because now, somebody, an entity that had no international status, was given international standing. And the Filipino people should be alarmed at this, to me, a betrayal of their public trust.
Alam niyo, attorney, hindi naintindihan ng publiko na para bang pag nakikita nila, magkakaroon na ng, it's a very simple appreciation of of the events, no? Meron ng peace talks, nagkakapirmahan na, dumalo na yung mga international community members, mukhang magkakaayos na. But they do not understand what are the net effects of all these individuals participating. All they see is just the celebration.
It is a deception. It is a deception couched in terms of peace talks, of peace image. But what kind of peace is contemplated under the Constitution? You will recall that in the preamble, the government is supposed to function under two conditions. First, the rule of law. And second, a regime of truth, justice, freedom, love, equality, and peace. Huli yung peace.
Oo.
Peace follows equality.
Okay.
Equality follows love.
Oo.
Love follows justice and then truth. And then truth follows the rule of law. Where is the rule of law? If you're going to make sovereignty divisible instead of indivisible, that is betrayal.
Sa makatuwid, yung pagdating ng mga dayuhan para maging saksi sa pirmahan, plus or minus sa atin?
Ay, iyang isa talagang napakalaking minus niyan. Pero para sa akin, maganda yan dahil yan ay katibayan para sa ating mga sambayanan na itong administrasyong ito ay nakikipagsabwatan sa isang banyagang pamahalaan upang buwagin o hatiin o durugin ang ating soberenya sa ngalan ng kapayapaan.
In short, we have internationalized this issue. We should not, because it is an internal issue. Ganun ba sinasabi niyo?
That is right. In fact, this problem has already been solved by President Marcos before. And that is precisely why we entered into the Tripoli Agreement. And Nur Miswari tried to honor it by holding back their guns. No more. No more quarrel. But then, Malaysia, apparently, who is friendly to the MILF, I do not know if they're supporting the MILF, brought out and sensationalized the MILF. And itong administration na to, I do not know what power of persuasion the Malaysians have over them. They recognize them, the MILF, outside of the MNLF, into an international entity.
Puntahan lang natin yung framework kasi tama-tama nandito si Attorney Pagia. Tanungin lang natin siya, no. May mga terms dito na ginagamit eh. For example, yung term na ang ginagamit po nila dito sa termino ng Bangsamoro framework is imbis na central government, ang ginagamit ay national government. Bakit nagagamit nila central government instead of national government dito sa Bangsamoro framework? As a lawyer, you're very keen about these terms, no? Bakit hindi national government ang ginamit kung hindi central government vis-a-vis?
I think it is a clear attempt to deviate from the constitutional language. Kasi sa constitution natin, we have the national government. The local government, and the autonomous regions.
Okay.
Now they're deviating outside by using terms that are not used in the Constitution.
These are novel terms.
Yes, and I think it will lead to a parliamentary form of government which is derogatory to the presidential type of government contemplated under the Constitution.
Yun, isa pa yun. Tapos, may sinasabi na lang reserved powers. And may exclusive powers, may devolved powers na hindi pa na-define. Tapos subject to certain annexes, itong desisyon na ito, na pinirmahan natin, tapos wala pang annexes.
That's right. But that is the trick. That is the trick. Kasi either the legislature will approve of it or they will not. If they approve of it, then the legislature will be as guilty as the executive in dividing our sovereignty and deviating from the Constitution. If they do not approve of it, still the MILF wins because they already got the official recognition.
Pero itong pinagtataka ko, attorney, no? Bakit pumirma tayo sa isang dokumento na nagbabase sa annexes na binabanggit sa framework, hindi pa natin nababasa yung small details ng annexes?
Because what is important, first, commonsensically, medyo kitang-kita yung katrayduran doon.
Diba? Dapat
Kasi common sense. Anong aagrihan mo kung wala ka pa nababasa? But dito, makikita mo lang na yung kanilang laro ay kahit wala yung annexes, kahit wala pang laman, kahit puro framework, walang picture, panalo na kagad. Meron nang natupad na yung kanilang tinatarget. Ano yun? Recognition by the administration of their status as a belligerent entity.
Napansin nyo, Atty. Pagia, no? Ginagamit nila dito Bangsamoro government. Bakit hindi Bangsamoro regional administration?
kaya nga,
Yun ang mga ano.
Kaya-
I mean, for
nakakatakot.
Marvick Leonen, I mean, obviously, nakita niya ito. Ano bang laro nito?
hindi, tingin ko, nabebenta tayo dyan.
Diba?
This is a sellout of our sovereign. The issue here is sovereignty. Why you cannot have it, you cannot make sovereignty divisible. It has to be indivisible. But these lawyers that are who are representing the government appear to be dwelling away from the standard indivisibility of sovereignty.
Yun. And then, meron pa dito. The Bangsamoro can create its own resources of revenue as well as just share. Yung just share, hindi pa defined kung what is a just share, no? In the revenues derived from the natural resources. Tanong, etong just share ba, pwede ba rin hingin ito ng ibang mga probinsya? Pwede din ba silang humingi ng just share? Kasi mukhang yung just sharing na yon is very special only for the Bangsamoro.
That's why it would really require not only legislative enactment but also a constitutional amendment. But just the same, Eric, let us not be tricked into thinking that we can stop it through the legislature because the recognition is already there and we get nothing from it. The Filipino people got nothing for recognizing the MILF.
Ito po, hinihimay-himay na natin yung mga punto, no, ng framework mismo. Ito, nakalagay dito, the Bangsamoro will have the authority to receive grants and donations, domestic and foreign sources. And here is the interesting part. And block or stop grants and subsidies from the central government. Bakit ayaw nila tumanggap ng grants at subsidies from the central government? Pero pwede silang tumanggap sa abroad. And this is supposed to be a political subdivision below the national government.
This is the problem there, Eric. We do not know, sabi nila, that's not the national governments, obviously. And it does not seem to fit into the local government concept under the Constitution.
Yes.
And neither is it an autonomous region.
Oo.
So,
Kasi kayang mag-block.
So it is a separate entity, it's a separate idea
Oo.
outside of the Constitution.
Oo.
Therefore, the authority of those representing the Republic of the Philippines, as you know, sovereignty resides in the people, in all government authority emanates from them. They should show that they are authorized to enter into this kind of transaction and then telling the sovereign Filipino people that you have to understand that by signing this document, even if there is no real agreement yet, we are already giving away that official recognition and giving them a status of belligerency recognizable under international law. So, saan tayo ngayon? MNLF o MILF? May commitment na tayo sa MNLF. Precisely, Nur Miswari refuses to join the transitional government.
Ito, yung trabaho ng Transition Commission dito sa Bangsamoro Framework, nakalagay, will author a draft of the Bangsamoro Basic Law. Maitanong lang, bakit Bangsamoro Basic Law? Bakit hindi pwedeng Bangsamoro Autonomous Organic Act? Am I reading too much of this? Or is there something to the terms being used? Bangsamoro Basic Law as against, bakit hindi pwedeng Bangsamoro Organic Act na lang?
Unang-una,
Parang naglalaro tayo sa terminology
kaya
dito.
nga doon mo makikita, this is a clear attempt to deceive.
Oo.
Because if you have no intention to deceive, the language should be very simple, the concept should be simple, and it has to be simple because as an executive, as executive department, you're only supposed to execute the laws and execute the Constitution. You cannot enter into an agreement that will need legislation. Why? Because you will be encroaching upon a legislative prerogative.
Okay. We were going to pause for a few reminders, but eto, I'd like to leave this question with Attorney Pagia. The Transitory Commission is supposed to be a deliberative body of appointed individuals, no? Who will propose, debate, and settle issues of quorum and voting. Ngayon, ang tanong ko, bakit mas marami ang Bangsamoro Commission members appointed sa pagbabalik po ng Republika? Okay, nagbabalik po tayo sa ating Republika. Kausap natin si Atty. Alan Pagia. Pinapalabas mo natin gobyerno na itong Transitory Commission ay hindi ho masyadong mahalaga daw ito kasi pinag-uusapan lang dito ang mga ipapalabas na mga posibleng mga amendments sa ating konstitusyon at kung ano mga dapat hihimay yung mga batas na posibleng i-endorso sa ating Kongreso. Subalit, naitatanong ko lang, bakit mas maraming MILF members, 8 against 7? Ang mangyayari po dito, kaya nga tinatanong ko Atty. Alan, magiging outvoted ang mga members ng ating government panel. Kasi, firstly, they have to decide quorum. Siyempre, kailangan, pag mayroong proposal, magiging voting ang proseso ng pagpapasa nito, hindi ba?
Correct. Following the principle of democracy,
Oo.
rule of the majority, 8 is obviously the majority of 15. Therefore, even if that entire government representatives of 7 oppose together,
Oo.
the Bangsamoro will prevail because of they have 8 representatives out of 15.
Oo. And then, eto ang maganda dito. Ang MILF ang magre-rekomenda ng majority ng Transitory Commission, ng Transition Commission. Ngayon, ang tanong, nasusunod ba itong punto na ito, Atty. Alan? So, yung nasa konstitusyon natin, Article 10, Section 18. Congress will enact a law with the assistance and participation of Regional Consultative Commission composed of representatives appointed by the President from a list of nominees from multisectoral bodies. Is the MILF a multisectoral body?
No, it's not.
Yun yan na nga.
It is a rebel group.
Kaya nga. So, ngayon, next question. Ibig sabihin, itong Bangsamoro Transition Authority, mga MILF recommendees din ito, mangyayari nito.
Yes.
Ngayon, why the need for a Bangsamoro Transitory Authority when after the Bangsamoro Basic Law is approved by Congress? The ARMM, ano bang mangyayari relasyon nito? Question between the Bangsamoro Transition Authority vis-a-vis the ARMM. Sa palagay nyo, hindi ba mag-aaway-away ito?
Obviously. But regardless of that, panalo na yung MILF kasi nga na-recognize na sila eh. Doon pa lang, mukhang hindi pinapaintindi nung peace panel sa sambayan ng Pilipino na yung pagbibigay nila ng pagkilala dito sa MILF ay napakalaking nakikipagpatayan yung mga revolutionary forces sa ibang bansa para lang kilalanin sila. Pero dito, they were offered that recognition on a silver platter. Ngayon, yung sinasabi na peace talks, that's fine. Everybody wants peace, but following the rule of law, following the rule of constitution, following our indivisible sovereignty, not contrary to it.
Sino ba ang dapat paniwalaan natin dito, Atty. Pagia? Si Marvic Leonenses, under this, pati yung mga pinapalabas nilang advertisement sa newspaper, hindi na kailangan ng constitutional amendment. And yet, ang trabaho ng Transition Commission is to probably draft constitutional amendments. So, who is telling what? Who is telling the truth here?
I think they're not telling the truth because yung sinasabi mo pa lang na merong government, merong territory, merong mga powers which partake of sovereign powers, then there is obviously a necessity to readjust the Constitution to include this particular form of government which does not fall under national, local, or autonomous regions.
Correct. Kasi mukhang malinaw dito sa ating konstitusyon. Article 10, Local Government General Provisions, the territorial and political subdivisions of the Republic of the Philippines are provinces, cities, municipalities, and barangays. There shall be an autonomous regions in Muslim Mindanao and Cordillera as hereinafter provided. Okay. Ito may katanungan dito. Ito lang, this is a sampling of how our ordinary masa thinks, no? Isn't it unfair po sa mga Filipino na maging independent ang Mindanao to have their own system? Kita mo Mindanao. Sana naman wag Mindanao. Southern Mindanao lang po ang hinihingi. Kaya nakakatakot buong Mindanao. Yes.
It is not fair. It is most unfair.
Okay.
In the first place, it is an outright betrayal of the public trust of the sovereign people. Why? Because government is supposed to protect to conserve and develop our patrimony, and that includes the entire territory, and preserve our form of government under the Constitution. This framework agreement clearly tends to go beyond that.
Okay. Under the Bangsamoro government, dun sa framework na nakalagay, number 12, nakalagay dun sa pinirmahan ng ating gobyerno, ministerial daw in form ang mangyayari dyan sa Bangsamoro. No? Voters will vote for political parties and parties who win seats elects head of the Bangsamoro. Tanong, is this constitutional?
They don't have to put it there if they intended to follow the constitutional framework, if they intended to follow the local government code, they do not have to put these details in. Therefore, this is outside of constitutional contemplation or statutory provisions.
Okay.
Therefore, they're thinking of a new legislation to accommodate these agreements. And I don't think they're authorized to do that. But the problem is this. Even if subsequently the Senate or the House of Representatives thumbs it down, they still win. Why? Our executives, the chief executive and Leonen, have already given them official recognition of a belligerency status.
Okay. Tama yung binanggit po ninyo, Attorney, dahil dito po sa Article 10, Local Government General Provisions, Autonomous Region Section 18 ng ating Constitution 1987, nakalagay, the Organic Act shall define the basic structure of government. We're talking about the ARMM, no? For the region consisting of the Executive Department and Legislative Assembly, which shall be elective and representative of the constituent political units.
Yes.
Nowhere nakalagay dito na parliamentary, ano?
No, it contemplates a microcosm of the presidential system.
Of the mother
of the
system.
separation of powers principle with the consequent check and balance and within the framework of the Constitution. If there is going to be a need for amendment of the Constitution, then this peace panel is not implementing or executing the law. They are already amending or agreeing to amend the legal system.
Nag-research ako, Atty. Pagia, no? Dito, nakalagay dito sa autonomous regions, under Section 15, which is Article 10, the Constitution again, which is already self-limiting as it is, no? Is sending a second caveat. Nakalagay dito, there shall be created autonomous regions in Muslim Mindanao and in the Cordilleras consisting of provinces, cities, municipalities, and geographical areas sharing a common and distinctive historical and cultural heritage, economic and social structures, and other relevant characteristics. Ito ngayon. Within the framework of this Constitution and the national sovereignty, as well as the territorial integrity of the Republic. The Constitution is reiterating itself.
For one particular purpose. So that the readers, national or international, will not entertain any reasonable doubt as to the autonomous nature provided for.
Correct.
While it is designated as autonomous, it is within the framework of the constitutional provisions.
So malinaw.
Therefore, there should be no need to amend the Constitution.
Precisely.
Because if you will amend the Constitution, then you are setting aside these limitations.
So parang dalawang beses inuulit ng ating konstitusyon na, hoy, makinig kayo, dapat limitado kayo dito sa mga sinasabi ko. Hindi lang isang beses, pero halos dalawang beses.
Yes, because the autonomous nature should not defeat the Constitution. Because the autonomous nature is granted by the Constitution, therefore, the implementation of that autonomous nature of these governments must be within constitutional contemplation, which should not require constitutional amendment, but only legislative enactment.
Okay, doon po sa punto naman ng framework, geographical coverage and territory, nakalagay, plebiscite will be held in the envisioned core territory. Core territory ang ginagamit. Itong pinagtataka ko, why the use of the territory and not region?
Because internationally, territory is an element of the state.
Correct.
And therefore, what they're talking about is a deceptive presentation of what is supposed to be within constitutional contemplation, but actually leading to an independent state.
doon po sa nabanggit nating mga annexes na hindi na sinama nila, nakalagay dito yung territorial waters at yung internal waters, which is referred to in the annexes of wealth and power sharing. Tapos pinirmahan natin ito.
That's it. Even if it is not implemented, it is a clear recognition of belligerency, which the Filipino people must be made to understand is a derogation of what our forefathers, of our ancestor Katipuneros, fought and died for this indivisible sovereignty, which is now being abdicated in this framework agreement.
Ngayon, tanong ko, Attorney Alan, meron bang special power of attorney itong MILF para sila ang mga tawan ng Bangsamoro?
They have none. Precisely, Chairman Normis Suarez already thumbed them down because the MNLF are asserting the Tripoli Agreement and they're asking why the GRP is recognizing the MILF, which is not part of the MNLF Tripoli Agreement with the GRP.
Or dahil mas marami silang armas, kaya nakikinig ang gobyerno? Yun lang ba ang basehan nila kung bakit...
Kahit na sabing 10 beses pa ang armas nila, the Philippine government, the armed forces of the Philippines cannot, will never agree that there is an armed force greater than the armed forces of the Philippines. Once you break that premise, then we lose our right to be sovereign. Precisely, that argument that they have so much arms should be referred to the armed forces who, I guarantee you, will say, kaya natin yan. And
Correct.
Precisely, this is what they did with President Estrada's term,
Camp
yung
Abubakar.
all-out war.
Yes.
And then being able to successfully take over and get back
Abubakar.
territorial claims.
Yeah,
in
Abubakar,
Mindanao.
13 other major camps and about 43 satellite camps.
Yes.
Ganun karami.
For all the things that they criticize ERAP for, it would seem that the ERAP's heart is in the right place, his constitutional law is in the right place, and he was able to mobilize the armed forces of the Philippines in the right constitutional perspective.
Okay. Ngayon, ang definition daw ng Bangsamoro dito sa framework na ito ay ganito. Those at the time of the conquest and colonization were considered natives or original inhabitants of Mindanao and the Sulu Archipelago and its adjacent islands including Palawan and their descendants mixed and full native blood. Ngayon, ang tanong ko, bakit wala yung Saba dito sa pinirmahan ng MILF?
Exactly, that's where the Filipino people will have to look at their representatives led by Malacanang's chief executive, Leonen, because why did they allow Malaysia, who has an ongoing dispute with us regarding Saba, to be the referee with the MILF?
Correct.
So, the trust, there is reasonable suspicion on the part of the Filipino people that there might be something Pinoy or Leonen know
That we don't.
that we do not know. Why they made Malaysia the referee, and Malaysia has not even said anything regarding return of Sabah to the Sultanate of Sulu and Sabah.
Ito ang kasi kung yan po ang pagbabasihan ng Bangsamoro framework, ito po ang mapa ng Pilipinas kung yan ang susundin natin. At bakit tahimik na tahimik po? Kung napapansin ninyo, masyadong malapit, iakyat po pa, ilayo mo pa na konti. Dito sa baba, mapapansin ninyo, kasama po sa mapa natin, itong Saba.
Ito.
Oo. Pati nga Panatag Shoal dito, yung napakaliit nandyan oh.
Anong mapa ba to?
This is a Spanish map.
Oh.
This was the entire Philippines. So ngayon ang tanong, kung yan ang definisyon ng pinirmahan natin, edi dapat kasama ang Saba.
That's right. Kaya nga ang taong bayan nagkakamot ng ulo at nagdududa. Hindi mo mapupulaan kung magdududa dito sa katapatan ng ating mga kinatawan. Dahil kung gagawin nating referee ang Malaysia, dapat sana inayos na muna yung Saba claim. O sige, sasoli na namin yan. Pero tumahimik na kayo dito sa Mindanao, sa inyo na ulit itong Saba, di mas maganda sana. Maniniwala ang taong bayan, ang magaling tong Malacanang. Pero dahil hindi naman sinama yung Saba, tapos nakikipagkasunduan tayo sa Malaysia, parang kinalimutan na natin yung Saba dyan. ay yun ang hindi maganda dahil hindi pa nakakalimutan ng taong bayan yan. Bakit? Dalawang pangulo ng Republika,
Yes,
Diosdado Macapagal and Ferdinand Marcos, ang nagsabi, sa atin niyang Sabah.
Bakit tahimik din ang MILF kung ang pinag-uusapan nila ay Bangsamoro Homeland?
Doon mo nga makikita na kung ano siguro ang relasyon ng MILF dito sa Malaysia. Na nagkakasundo sila, sige tulungan natin ang isa't isa, pero ikaw, MILF, huwag mong babanggitin ang Sabah. Dahil masasaktan ng Malaysia. Mapipilitan sila magsolinto. By the way, Sabah is bigger than the entire land of Luzon.
Mga 74, some people put it at 75, 76,000 square kilometers. Yan ang sabi. Nakalagay din po dito sa framework, yung regarding the MILF forces and weapons. The MILF shall undertake a graduated program for the decommissioning of its forces so that they are put beyond use. Ang tanong ko dito, ano mangyayari dun sa disposition of forces and armaments? Parang wala yatang binabanggit, no?
Those administrative details, hindi na nila, kahit isoli nila lahat ng baril nila, kahit pamigay, bebenta na nila, okay na Kasi kaya naman sila nagbabaril na ganun, para bigyan sila ng recognition. Nakuha na nila without fighting bakit pa nila kakailangan na yan? Kahit isoli namin yan, okay na. Ito, kinilala na tayo
Ang problema nito, attorney, is hindi nga isusoli yung mga baril kasi ang mangyayari dito, as part of the normalization, number 8, section 6, all law enforcement functions shall be transferred from the AFP, the police, for the Bangsamoro.
Kaya nga doon mo makikita na napakagaling nitong mga sila Marvic Leonen. Napakagaling nila magbigay. Ano nakuha ng sambayan ng Pilipino? Wala. Hindi nga natin nabawi yung baril Pero kahit na nakuha na, binigay pa sa atin yung baril, yung mga bala, yung pagkilala natin sa kanila, nabigay na natin. And we got nothing for it. And ngayon, pinapalabas nila, napakagagaling nila dahil may peace talks na, wala nang gulo. Natural, wala nang gulo. Kasi kaya nga sila nang gugulo para kilalanin sila. Ngayon, hindi na nila kailangan ng gulo. Kilala na sila
Ngayon, pag maging parte sila ng police force, Bangsamoro Police Force ang tawag sa kanila. So maging PNP sila, no? Bangsamoro Police Force. Sa kanilang mga baril. Ang pinagtataka ko lang, bakit dito sa part of the normalization, bakit binabanggit na walang AFP presence? Kung police lang sila, and they're just supposed to take care of civilian, enforcement, law enforcement, bakit pinapalis yung AFP sa lugar nila?
In other words, yung idea nila ng normal, hiwalay na sila. Independent na sila. Yun ang magiging normal. Yung sinasabi mong normal, yung ngayon na magpapatuloy. Hindi na. Kaya dito, makikita mo sa framework agreement na ito, na yung normal, yung iniisip ng MILF, hindi yung iniisip ng ating saligang batas.
Hindi ba tama dapat, attorney, ang AFP mananatili for national defense?
Hindi maaalis
Yung
hindi
police,
pwedeng alis
yan dapat ang normal. Yung police, siyempre, PNP, they will be integrated into the police force. Sila na ang bahala sa policing. Pero yung military, dapat AFP.
And they have to be subject to the PNP hierarchy.
Correct.
Why? Because it's a constitutional body.
Correct. Integrated police yan, national police. Ngayon, bakit nakalagay dito kailangan walang AFP presence?
Kaya nga masakit mang sabihin, masakit mang aminin, para sa pangkaraniwang salita, itong Bangsamoro Framework Agreement ay isang malaking katrayduran ni Leonen at ni Pangulong Pinoy. Pasensya na.
Ngayon, eto pa, no? So sila ang magpupulis. Magkakaroon ng plebisito. Sino ang magbabantay sa mga balota? Sinong magpiplebisito doon? Di ba siyempre kung sino mga lalawigan o sino mga municipalities o barangays ang sasama dito sa Bangsamoro.
It's an abdication of sovereign control over a definite portion of national territory.
Hindi ba nakakatawa? Sila ang magpupulis doon sa lugar na kung saan magkakaroon pa ng plebisito kung sino sasama sa Bangsamoro?
Correct. Kaya nga, yung foregone conclusion ang tawag dyan, na alam naman nila Leonen yan, ba't nila ipinasok? Bakit nila isinusubo yung sambayan ng Pilipino dyan? Dahil ito, umaasa yung sambayan ng Pilipino na yung mga kumakatawan sa kanilang interes ay poprotektahan yung kanilang mga iniutos na nakasulat na dyan sa ating saligang batas. Pero dito, maliwanag ito sa ating sa binibigay nilang framework agreement, nalilihis sila dun sa mandato nila sa ilalim ng saligang batas.
Tapos, ang mangungulo po yata dito sa Bangsamoro government ay isang chief minister.
Walang minister sa Constitution eh.
Kaya nga, paano ba ito?
Kaya nga, doon mo makikita, ito sa simpleng salita, katraidoran. Nothing personal, but it's a betrayal of public trust.
Tapos ito, sa powers ng Bangsamoro, Section 2, the central government shall have the powers, yon, defense, external security, etc., etc. And then, nakalagay dito, trade power, the power to enter into economic agreements already allowed under RA 9054, hindi natin alam itong 9054, shall be transferred to the Bangsamoro, coinage and monetary policy, citizenship, naturalization, postal service. This list, ito ngayon importante, this list is without prejudice to additional powers that may be agreed upon by the parties.
That is terrible. You see, in law, we have the principle of enumeration.
Okay.
And what is that principle about? That the necessary implication is that what is not included is excluded. So when you enumerate powers, what is not included is excluded. But here, it will not apply. Why? Because the enumeration is not exhaustive.
Okay.
It provides for a reservation. Therefore, it's contrary to that principle. Instead of limiting the powers, they have expanded it.
Okay. Okay. Last word, attorney. No? Gusto ko lang malaman. End scenario. The Senate does not approve it, or assuming the Senate approves it, in both scenarios, how do you see it? The Senate does not approve it, or the other one, the Senate approves it. What happens?
It's the game plan is already won for the MILF.
Okay.
They already get what they were rebelling against, rebelling for. They were engaged in rebellion so that they will be recognized as a separate nation. Without any further firing or fighting, they already get it. So it's not a consolation for us to have that peace, because that peace is a victory of threat.
Intimidation.
Wala pang war, nanalo na.
Okay.
So they don't need the guns anymore. So if the legislature goes along with this kind of trend, then they will be as guilty as the executive in making sovereignty divisible instead of maintaining it indivisibly. And then there is also the continuing non-disclosure of the status of the Philippine claim over Sabah.
Okay. Well, we've run out of time. We'd like to thank Attorney Alan Pagia. Hindi po ito last na maimbitahan natin siya dahil talagang ito ang paborito nating inimbitahan dahil pinaka-importante po sa mga inimbitahan ko pong guest ay hindi po nabibili. Ito po si Eric Espina, palagi po nagsasabi, magmasid, makialam, higit sa lahat po ay manindigan dahil wala pong magmamahal sa Pilipino kung hindi ang Pilipino. Daghang salamat, maayong gabi, kaninyong tanan.